Brr, it's cold in here. Wow. Thanks, Santa, for the invitation. I wasn't expecting the Coast Guard escort for my sail up here to the North Pole. Boy, it's beautiful. And whoa, wait. It's KringleCon time. Well, thank you for the invitation. Welcome to PCAP for Fun and Profit. I hope to spread a few minutes of joy into your life by talking about packet capture analysis and crafting techniques that you can use on your next pen test, on your next investigation, or just when you're sitting at home enjoying KringleCon. So starting off with packet capture, so some of the common tools, as I'm sure you're aware of, are PCAP tools. These are tools that are built on the library for packet capture, a venerable library that's been around since the dawn of the epic. These are tools like TCP dump, for example, Wireshark and T-Shark, Bro, along with some other tools like Daemon Logger, which is a great software tab. I'll talk about that in a few, and Kismet for capturing all your wireless goodness. There is quite a bit of wireless here on the North Pole, I might add. There are also non-PCAP related sniffers, like you can capture packets directly on Windows with NetSH Trace. There's Solaris Snoop, for example. And there's also a number of other tools that can be useful for packet capture for the pen testers, especially DSNF, EtterCap, Yersinia, and we'll talk about each one of these kind of with pros and cons. So with TCP dump is a wonderful tool. It's been around again since the beginning of time. And as I mentioned in the beginning, that these tools are PCAP related tools. They're all using the same library. And thusly, they save the packets in the same format, in a PCAP format. This is a huge advantage because if I capture the packets, for example, on a compromised machine using TCP dump, save them as PCAP, bring them back across to me, I can open them up in Wireshark, or I can open them up in other analysis tools, for example, that understand the PCAP format. So I can open them up in Bro, or I can open them up in Snort. I can open them up in a variety of different tools. So TCP dump is a wonderful tool. It's a relatively small package, so it's useful. And the other reason why it's really useful is that it's often installed as a standard package in many distributions of Linux and many flavors of Unix and BSD. Wireshark and T-Shark, another set of tools. They're two components of the Wireshark package. Wireshark, the traditional tool, is a graphic user interface tool, works on Windows, works on Linux and other distributions. Fantastic tool, great tool for packet capture, although not my favorite choice for capturing packets on a compromised machine, on a client's network, for example, for many reasons. The number one reason, though, for me is that it requires lots of libraries and additional code to be installed on that box. So if I don't have to install anything on the machine, all the better. T-Shark, which is also part of the Wireshark package, is a text-based console-based version of Wireshark. This can be very useful in that it brings a lot of the power that Wireshark brings to the table, from analysis to packet capture and packet logging, as well as using regular expressions and other things to search for data in packets. But it also brings you to the command line interface, so you can actually pipe it to other tools, as well as use some additional features that are in T-Shark, which are really, really helpful, like being able to actually format what columns get displayed in the T-Shark output. So for example, if you're sniffing and you want to pull out radius authentication tokens from packets, well, Wireshark understands radius packets and can dissect them, and it has keywords to be able to single out and display, for example, the authentication tokens going across the wire. So really useful things there. Bro has a new name, but it's a wonderful interface. It's a wonderful tool to be able to go through capture packets, index, log packets. It's really useful, for example, when you're on a pen test or when you're on incident response. If you want to look for specific lookups, specific DNS requests, for example, Maybe you've set up your phishing campaign to use a specific domain, and you want to see those requests going across the wire. You happen to have an interface that you're sniffing and piping it to Bro, for example. You could use Bro's notification system to let you know when that happens. Really, really cool, really useful. Daemon Logger was written by Marty Resch, the author of Snort. It is a software tap, a very, very well-written, small package, very, very good code. Highly recommend this as a great way to sniff packets off the wire, save them to disk. And Kismet, a venerable open source project for sniffing and analyzing wireless packets. Very, very cool stuff. NetSH, the Windows Net Shell, it allows you to do traffic traces. It does not save them to PCAP format, but the NetSH trace format can be converted to PCAP with additional tools or code. Snoop is on Solaris. And then active capture sniffers that I'm sure most of you are very well aware of, DSniff and EtterCap. These are tools that, in addition to capturing packets and manipulating them, they can also manipulate the infrastructure that they're connected to. They can ARP cache poison switches. They can cause denial of service on CAM tables and a bunch of other things to enable you to capture traffic and/or sessions. Yersinia is a little bit more obscure. It's been out for quite a while. It's a great tool. Mainly it's, I think, a little more obscure because it's a layer 2 tool designed to capture and manipulate packets at layer 2. So you can capture the packets, but you can also go through and edit the packets and then resend them, resling them on the wire. So pretty cool stuff there. For packet analysis, kind of the go-to for the industry, I would say is Wireshark. It's free, open source. It supports a huge suite of protocols, over 500 protocol dissectors included with the free version of Wireshark. And there are other dissectors that are available to specific industries, whether you work in ICS and other industries that have specific protocols that are proprietary. There are some protocol dissectors for those as well. It supports and converts, speaks all sorts of packet capture formats. So for example, if you have something that was captured with an intrusion prevention system and saved to their own packet capture format, chances are Wireshark can read it and convert it back to PCAP and vice versa. Pretty cool stuff there. It also has a lot of visualization tools built into it. You can visualize sessions and conversations. You can pull out a lot of attachments and other objects and files that get transferred. It's pretty cool stuff there. Although a couple of bullets down, Network Miner does, I think, a better job at the extraction or identification and extraction of objects. So if I was going for a more of an investigation role, Network Miner might be a better tool than Wireshark to go pull some of that stuff out. Very, very cool stuff there. Bro, now the new name, but again, great network collection and mining tool. And I say that the interface is well made for the right brain. The idea here is that it really is a mining tool, right? For the left brain, I should say. It's a great tool to go through enormous amounts of data and just start extracting data, looking for patterns, looking for indicators of compromise and other things within the network, for example. So for visualization tools, we have Maltego and Splunk have plugins that allow you to bring in packets and visualize them. Plotting tools, everything from GNU Plot, for example, to the R utilities, to many others, where you can bring in and visualize either components of packets or traffic to visualizing, the entire network traffic trace. And then packet crafting. We have two basic categories here: packet slinging and packet crafting. So packet slinging, for me, is more tools that will craft packets on your behalf and send them out. So Nmap is a classic example of this. We all know it as a network exploration tool and a network mapper, for example. But you can actually specify the flags for TCP packets. You can specify the specific size for UDP packets and or payloads. So it does craft packets on your behalf. It also sniffs packets on the return. Netcat and Socket and all the other derivatives of Netcat, for example. A great tool for sending packets, redirecting packets, proxying packets, and so forth. Nessus also will craft packets on your behalf. Frag Router is a proxy tool that will fragment all your packets to evade intrusion detection and intrusion prevention systems. F-Tester is a suite of, it's a Perl tool, but it will read, for example, firewall rules or snort rules, and it'll create packets designed to test those specific rules. Then for packet crafting itself, Scapy. Scapy is kind of the king of packet crafting in many ways. Scapy can be used on pen tests and also on the investigation side in so many different ways. For example, we recently at Guardians were doing a red team. We compromised an embedded MIPS system, and we didn't have the ability to install Nmap and other tools, but it did have Python installed, and we could actually get Scapy to run. So we used that to craft packets and map the network from that embedded system, which was definitely very cool. Same thing happened recently on a pen test where we were hacking a Kubernetes cluster that did not have direct access to the internet. So once we were there, we did have access to Python though, so away we went. So the ability to be able to craft packets on the fly, capture packets, analyze them, and even repurpose them and send them back out on the wire with Scapy is very, very useful. One other great reason from a pen test perspective to learn how to use Scapy is IPv6. Scapy has great IPv6 support, and not many of your security tools do. And a lot of organizations, once you're on the inside, IPv6 is wide open. So another great reason to explore some packet crafting fun. Then we have HPing, very simple tool, and Yersinia I already mentioned briefly, a layer 2 capture and edit and crafting tool, a great tool. I believe it was written by David Barroso back in the day. Yersinia is named after the Latin name for the bubonic plague, so I guess it has good intentions. But it's a great tool, kind of a clunky curses interface, but really, really powerful and highly recommended. It's powerful because not only does it do what it does at layer 2 very, very well, but it also, it's relatively easy to install on end target systems. So all those things make it a good tool for that. So this brings us to the fin. So thank you for joining us here at KringleCon. Thanks to Santa for the amazing invite and that Coast Guard escort. A little heads up on the temperature would have been nice, but I guess I should have known. But being from Brazil, that's what happens. Well, happy holiday to you and yours. I hope you enjoy your time here at KringleCon, and we'll catch you later at some other time. Mike out.